You may be seated. Thank you all for joining us today. I'd like to welcome you to the graduation ceremony for the Regional Recruit Academy 2016-2. This has been a very fun academy for us, maybe not so much them, but been very privileged to be a part of it. My name is Robert Ladd. I'm the Deputy Fire Chief of Training, Health, and Safety. So as you are, I'm sure, well aware, we have a joint academy with firefighters, or recruits still, they're not quite firefighters, recruits from Spokane Valley Fire Department, Spokane County Fire District 8, and the Spokane Fire Department. So to begin, I would like to ask Aaron McNally, the chaplain, to come up and say a few words.
Before I begin, I'd like to acknowledge passing of a longtime volunteer firefighter with Spokane County Fire District 8, firefighter Doug Archer. I'd like to direct us in a moment of silence. Thank you. I'd like to say congratulations to the recruit class 2016, and I'd like to pray. God, our sovereign Father, we are thankful to be gathered here together today in this ceremony to honor the members of this graduating recruit class 2016. We ask you today, Father, to bless these graduates as they receive confirmation of their qualifications to be brave men who will serve in emergency situations. We pray for their families today, and that they too will be blessed and honored for their sacrifice and dedication of their family member. We offer our gratitude for the knowledge that they have received, the insights and skills that they have learned and been tested on. We are thankful for their commitment to serve in this honorable career of firefighting and emergency medical care. We acknowledge their desire to serve those in need, at times serving those at their worst of times, while they strive to be their best. Thank you as well for their instructors and for this Recruit Academy, who have applied themselves to the giving of important instruction. We acknowledge their dedication and commitment to this service as well. We also want to acknowledge the departments represented here today and ask for your blessing on them and these recruits as they receive their assignments and begin a journey together. In closing, through your grace, we request once again your blessing. We ask you to grant wisdom in applying these learned skills and talents for vigilance, for protection, that you would be their guardian when facing danger, and for courage when it is needed. We offer and request all of these things in your name. Amen.
Now if I could introduce Fire Chief Bobby Williams.
Well, good afternoon, and certainly welcome to all of you. It's a pleasure to have you with us today, and we thank you for taking time from your busy schedules. We know it's a busy time of the year, and with the weather conditions outside, we're so happy that you could be with us. As I begin, I would like to take a moment to introduce some very important people that made this Recruit Academy happen. Start off by introducing Chief Brian Collins, who's the chief of the Valley Fire Department. Chief Collins, also Chief Tony Nielsen, who is the chief of Fire District 8. Tony, thank you. And we have a number of chief officers here today from our departments and the other departments that are part of this regional academy. I would also like to recognize, I believe, the fire commissioners from the Valley Fire Department, Spokane Valley Fire Department, are the only elected officials here today, so I'd like to recognize Commissioner Pearson, Commissioner Birch, Commissioner Allen, and Commissioner Dawson for being with us today. Thank you, gentlemen, for being with us. And as I will mention in a couple of minutes, we could not carry on these academies without the help and support of all of our elected officials. It's always exciting to have these events because it's really turning over a new page for our organizations and bringing in fresh blood and individuals to really start to carry on the future for our fire departments. So today for us is a first in our fire department, specifically the Spokane Fire Department, in that this ceremony is a ceremony for both lateral entry firefighters, so firefighters who have worked in other fire departments around the United States. They are completing a 6-week orientation with our department, as well as the entry-level firefighters. So the group that's here today, we're melding them together for the graduation ceremony, and that's the first time we've done that before. Our respective organizations are certainly looking forward to having these new personnel in the field to support the great work that our personnel carry out each and every day in our own communities. The policymakers not only provide the funding support, but provide the moral support and direction in each of our organizations for us to be able to add new personnel or replacement personnel, to be able to provide them with the equipment, to be able to provide service to the community. So we are very appreciative of the fine work that they do. And also I want to acknowledge and recognize the support that we get from our citizens, the citizens that live in our communities, the communities that we serve. Without them, without the support, we rely on them for support of levies, whether it's EMS levies or M&O levies for bond issues, etc. And we are very much appreciative for the ongoing support that our citizens provide to each of our jurisdictions. We know that the successes that we're celebrating today for these recruits and lateral entry members would not have occurred without the understanding and the support of all of you, the family members. We know it's been a tough time when they're in the academy. They have a lot of things to focus on and spend their time on. They don't get to spend as much time with you and the kids. So to all of you, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for the commitment that you've made during these last few weeks. I would also remind you, however, that they have got a lot to do in the next year as well, during their probationary year, to make sure that they're successful, as well as the rest of their career as they study for promotions and advancements in our organizations. So thanks in advance for the support that you have given them so far, and you will give them in the future as they continue in their career in the fire service. So we complete the chapter today, the first chapter of their careers with their respective fire departments. While I'm sure they're happy to be finishing the academy, in so many ways, they're just getting started with the exciting adventure for their future Spokane Fire Service experience. Certainly our lateral entry members, and we have 5, our lateral entry members have previous fire service experience, so they're already keenly aware of our great profession. And the rest are about to embark on what they will likely say in a few years is the best job they've ever had in their lives. To get to this day, these members had to put forth a lot of hard work, both mentally and physically. I appreciate all of your positive support, your enthusiasm, the professional approach that you have taken during this academy, and we expect that to continue throughout your careers. They certainly could not have been successful with a lot of help, and that help occurred from these individuals over here. So I wanted to introduce them and say thank you to them for their leadership in these academies over the last few weeks. On the far right is Captain Kelly Smith, and Kelly was headed up the lateral entry program orientation, has done a great job with that. Lieutenant, I'm going to field promote you here, Scott. Lieutenant Scott Butler has helped with this academy. He came off assignment in the fire station and helped during this academy, and we very much appreciate Scott's help. Lieutenant Sean Sanders has done a great job also with the entry-level firefighters. Both Sean and Scott together were the lead instructors for the academy. And obviously they had much support from all of our organizations, our personnel from all of the different departments that interacted and worked with these individuals each and every day to make sure that they had a successful academy, and when they go into the fire stations, it will be successful as well. And certainly thanks to Chief Ladd, who oversaw the academy. He's our director of training out here, as he indicated earlier, and it's his responsibility to make sure that all of this gets finished and we have a successful day today. So thanks to all of you for the great work. In a few minutes, we're going to do a badge presentation, and that's going to be that portion of the program. And we want to make sure, while a lot of this is formal today, it's really important that you take the time, and we're going to take the time for you to get as many pictures as you want. So we'll stand here and stage, and you can get in the middle, get up from your seats and get in the middle, because this really is all about capturing the memories of this important day. And besides saying congratulations to these members, today is also about family. It's about your family, it's about our family. One of the greatest advantages to this career field is the fact that when you become a member of the fire service, you gain another family, the fire service family. And that extends not to just within the Spokane Fire Department or the fire departments in Spokane County, but all across Washington, our country, and all the world. We have a fire service family. So we are glad to have all of you become a part of the fire service family, and especially these new members. We are proud to have all of you here. We are happy for your accomplishments thus far. We are hopeful for your success and for the exciting future that lies before you. As we discussed last week during the class we had together, your success individually, our success as our organizations are really all about your attitude and you delivering outstanding customer service. You're the only ones that can control that. We can sit here and ask you to and talk about it, but you're the ones that can control that. And going forward, that's what we expect you to do. All of our organizations expect that you, along with those that work each day in the fire station serving the public, will make a positive difference in the lives in Spokane each and every day. So make sure that that stays in front of you, not only this day, but through the rest of your careers. Again, congratulations. Thank you for your hard work. May God bless you and watch over you as you go forward with your careers. And to all of you, we wish you the joys of the holiday season. And again, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you all for coming. I'm glad that y'all made it here through the snow. Glad we didn't get the 3 to 6 inches they were predicting, so safe travels home to all of you who have to go home as well. My name is Kelly Smith. I'm the captain of training for the Spokane Fire Department, and I am the one who's had the privilege of being the lead instructor for our Lateral Academy recruits. And they're here to graduate their accelerated 5-week orientation program. And really, I have to say, it's just been a pleasure to get to know them and to work with them. They're quite a group. So what is a lateral? Chief Williams kind of touched on this. So laterals are the firefighters who have had previous experience and come to us from other fire departments from all across the United States, actually. This is a program that the Spokane Fire Department started a couple years ago, so it's fairly new for us here. And this being just the third lateral academy that we've ran. Our lateral candidates must meet certain prerequisites. such as a minimum of 3 years prior experience with a professional fire department, similar size and similar service model as us. So in this academy, I'd like to introduce our 5 laterals, if you would stand for a second here, just quickly. From left to right, we have Jason Hess from Seattle Fire. We have Nick Holmes from Eastside Fire, Issaquah. We have Cody Whitehour from Las Vegas. We have Eric Swap from Kansas City. And we have Dylan Russell from Prescott, Arizona. Thank you, gentlemen. So as you can see, we do literally get them from all across the country, and we're just really proud to have them and fortunate to have them. And they come to us with a combined service in the fire service and EMS service with 44 years, if I did my math right. It might be 43, it might be 45, so I settled on 44. Their academy experience has been different from our other recruits that have been here during a 14-week, very intense program. And their accelerated 5-week orientation is geared more towards taking advantage of those 44 years of service and getting them out into the stations and putting them to work for you guys as soon as we can get them out there. So in addition to bringing their experience with them, I also want to mention that they are also bringing their wives and children with them, who are also taking a big leap of faith and moving up here and being part of our family. We appreciate that. You should know, going forward from here, however, our laterals must still meet all of the requirements that our recruits graduating will have to meet over this next year. There's a 1-year probationary period that includes 3 major oral exams. I mean, these are a big deal, sitting in a panel with chiefs and officers. They have a 6-month test, which includes all of our policies and procedures, city policies, contracts. It's quite a feat. Then they have a 9-month street test, where they have to know literally every city or every street in the city of Spokane. Long streets, short streets, 100 blocks, certain buildings, and that's a big undertaking. Then they have a gold room exam, and that's kind of a recap of both of those tests, and that comes about the 9-month time, and then they just write out, if they're successful in that, then they write out the last couple months of their year probation with us. But in addition to that, they also complete monthly drill sheets. They're studying, remember, in the stations. And there's a lot that we require of them. And they're doing runs, going out on calls in the middle of all this, too. So, and we're a very busy department, so kudos to them. So it doesn't get any easier for a while, and I'd like to acknowledge that that this places a big demand on their family time, and that the wives and children are a big part of them having a successful probationary year as well. So coming on as a lateral isn't exactly a gimme. So that's my speech, short and sweet, and let's get to the rest of the ceremony and get these guys to the next pay grade.
Good afternoon. My name is Lieutenant Shane Sanders, and I am one of the instructors that has had the privilege of training this group of fine young men. I need to first of all thank my partners in crime, Captain Kelly Smith, Lieutenant Scott Butler, and Chief Tom Hatley. Tom's the training chief for District 8 and was down here slugging it in the trenches with the rest of us, throwing ladders and pulling hose. So this academy could not have happened with my support over here. And I want to thank you, again, friends and family, for attending today's graduation ceremony. Your attendance is very important to these firefighters, as has been your support up to this point and your continuing support, like Captain Smith just talked about. The work is just beginning for these guys. And wives out there, you will know the streets of Spokane just as well as your husbands, because they're going to use you to study. So, and you're often better than they are. So, the men before you represent some of the finest qualities that we look for in our recruit firefighters. They're intelligent. Well, some of them are intelligent. They're hardworking, trustworthy, and most important of all, they're willing to put their safety on the line to serve the members of this community. This is the 4th academy that I have been a part of, and the thing that has impressed me most about this group is their camaraderie. These 12 men, and they affectionately call themselves the Dirty Dozen, are the tightest group of recruits that I have seen so far. And it is that unity that has carried them through the academy and will carry them through their probationary year. During the last 14 weeks, we put them through some very intensive training. Some basic training, basic firefighter skills such as fire attack, search and rescue, vertical ventilation, wildland firefighting, and hazardous materials awareness and operations, which after reading their evals, they get to give us a report card. So yesterday they did that, and hazmat was by far their least favorite subject. But we expect a lot of our recruits, and we train them in areas beyond some of the basic skills that are not expected of a recruit firefighter. They learned how to size up a building and initiate the incident command system. They learned advanced building construction and fire behavior, and survivability to include bailing out windows and the infamous Denver drill. They attended the Washington State Fire Training Academy in North Bend, where they were instructed in advanced fire behavior class. They conducted search and rescue exercises in some very difficult situations. They performed fire attack on a 6 or 7 stories? It's a really tall building. To simulate high-rise fires. And they accomplished all of these tasks at a very high level of performance. The instructors at North Bend were very impressed with their proficiency, and doubly so when they learned that at this point they only had 6 weeks of training under their belt. So they were actually blown away. Every class, our audiovisual technician, Dean Percy, works behind the scenes to capture the recruits, working tirelessly to perfect the skills that they are being taught. What you're about to see is the video that shows the highlights of their 14 weeks of training. So I present to you the training of Recruit Class 2016-2.
But it's going to take your effort, individually and collectively, to be successful. And I want you to understand how fortunate you are to just even be here.
It's so slashed and torn.
Why can't we give love that
Pressure. Pressure. Only dive
My name is Scott Butler. I'm a lieutenant with the Spokane City Fire Department, and I volunteered to come out to teach the class. And I did that before I had met any of these guys. And I've been working with them 2016-2 for the last 14 weeks, maybe a little bit plus. And it's actually been one of the best experiences I've had on the department. I want to take a minute before I get into this, and I'm just surprised that nobody else has spoken about this yet, but Shane and I talked the other day, and you hear a lot about people saying that we're a family on the department. And about 6 weeks into the academy, about 5, I was getting ready to go to North Bend with these guys, and my wife asked me how things are going. And it was stressful. The whole time it was stressful for me. And being a father of adult children, it became apparent to me when I was talking with my wife why it was stressful. And I explained to her in one sentence, kind of it all summed it up. I said, it's like I got 12 more kids. And that's not for a second to say that any of these guys are, some of them aren't immature or young. I think only 2 of them are older than my oldest son. But what it really meant to me was this academy is brutal. It's tough on all these guys, and you as their family members know that as well. And as they struggled, we suffered with them. And as they excelled and as they overcome the challenges, we celebrated those times of overcoming as well. So for me, that was when I knew that it felt like I had 12 more kids. So I'm here to present the Most Inspirational Award for this academy. And this award is, we don't choose this as the instructors. So I'll just get into my notes here. I went through my academy 19 years ago, and I still remember a lot of it just like it happened yesterday. One of the first drills that they gave us on my time was we had to go out and inventory the truck that we were going to be using through the course of our academy, the fire engine. I was the only person in my class that had absolutely no fire and no EMS experience when we started. And I knew I had a lot to learn. I actually remember telling the interview panel, I said, I'll make it my job to outwork and outlearn anybody else that's here, because I knew I was coming in behind everybody else. So as we were inventorying that truck, I was hearing words for the first time like Halligan and 2.5-inch coupling and 1 inch and 3/4, and guys were inventorying this stuff, and they were throwing all these numbers and names, and every time I heard something that I didn't recognize, I got a little more terrified. I kept thinking I'm farther and farther behind than what I thought. But in that time, there was one guy, luckily for me, that any question I had, he took me aside and he took the time to explain it to me. He explained some of the more advanced fire techniques and tactics that we have to employ together as a team. Most importantly, he promoted an atmosphere of teamwork throughout our entire academy. He brought everybody together as a team, and I wouldn't have been able to get through that without him. Looking back, he was actually instrumental in bringing our class together as a single unit, and it wasn't an easy task to do this. He ended up also being the recipient of the Most Inspirational Award in my academy. Firefighters, we're a weird bunch. We willingly put our safety on the line to help people in our community. We all want to be, as individuals, we want to be the person in the fire, we want to be on the nozzle, we want to be on the roof, we want to be the guy making the rescue, the guy or lady, as the case may be, making the rescue. One thing that we all know, though, is that no fire goes out. Nobody's saved. Nobody's house is saved because of the heroism of a single firefighter. The successful outcome at any major incident depends directly on our ability to work together as a cohesive team. This principle, more than any others, is what I tried to instill in this class. This was a focus that I had, and I think all these guys probably know that after spending the last 3 months with me. If you'll indulge me. 2016-2, where do we draw our strength?
Unity, sir.
Bringing this class together as a single unit was one of all of our primary goals, and we knew from the onset that achieving this goal would be every bit dependent on these guys as it would be on our efforts. One member of the class set the standard for effectively bringing everyone together as a team. This fact is supported by the award that he's about to receive. The Most Inspirational Award is voted on by every member in the recruit class. The instructors, we have no input on who gets it. So this is almost more of a significant award than some of the others, because being supported and looked well upon by your peers is almost more significant, at least in my opinion, than it is to be looked upon that way by your superiors. It says something about how you interact with the guys that you're working with. This person has been an informal leader throughout the academy. He never offered excuses when things didn't go right. He always worked hard at making himself better, and he was quick to offer help whenever he could and whenever anybody asked. He contacted every member of the class before their first day of the academy and began to set the foundation for them becoming an effective team before we even realized it. Through his efforts, he made our jobs as instructors a lot easier, and none of us were surprised when the votes were finally tallied. The most inspirational recruit of Class 2016-2 is Brett Johnston.
My name's Tom Halley. I'm Division Chief of Training at Spokane County Fire District 8. And a couple things I wanted, like Lieutenant Sanders had said, this has been a great bunch of guys to work with. And I also want to thank all the other engine companies and all the other instructors that came in on the time that we had in this past 14 weeks. So without all your guys' help, we would not have been able to do our job. So, and again, I've been very honored to be associated with this class. And I want to thank my administration for supporting me and for letting me be down here. I am to present the Valedictorian Award. It's not the most sexiest award in the fire service, but in this class, 14 weeks, and I want to thank the family especially, because without you guys' support, when they're on the drill grounds, they're ours, but when they're at home, they're still ours. They put in a lot of time, and for 14 weeks we had 14 quizzes and tests, and we have a standard. We just don't go with the 70% bottom line. It's 80%. We expect a lot from these recruits, and 80% is the standard, the seal that we want these guys. The old adage, it's actually kind of a new one, is, we work smarter, not harder. And this individual that has won this award has put a lot of effort into it. And one thing, I'll give you a little backstory. Through this class, we had two individuals that were neck and neck throughout this whole thing. And we never did, in fact, Dave Bear and Zach Sorrell, go ahead and stand up. These two individuals, it was a horse race every week. They were pulling ahead, one was going, the other was going back, and anyway. Long story short, you guys can have a seat. These two made it very interesting as we went through these 14 weeks to kind of watch them progress and as they took these quizzes. And it boiled down to the final test. And by 0.03%, I'm very honored and very privileged to award Zach Searle the Class Valedictorian Award.
Before I start, there's one other individual I wanted to point out that I kind of missed earlier. That was very instrumental in training these guys, and they might cringe a little bit when I say his name, but firefighter Josh Sampson was injured and down here on light duty and was instrumental in training these kids for the first 6 weeks and made a huge difference in his career. So if you're watching, Josh, thank you. For each recruit academy, one of the hardest things that we have to do is figure out who our top recruit is to give this award to. This is not a task that we take lightly, as the award is named after firefighter John Knighton. We lost John on June 30th of 2013 after a 3-year battle with multiple myeloma cancer. And John Knighton epitomized everything there was about being a firefighter. He showed incredible bravery both on the job and in the final few months of his life. He was the consummate example of a firefighter, and he was awarded the top recruit in his class. When I first met John, I had a little more than a year and a half on, and he was out of grade, working as officer for the day. He was my officer, and we had a really good house fire over in Station 2's district. And we went in and we chased fire on the second floor through the walls. We finally made a good stop, and then when we came out, we're changing air bottles. He taps me on the shoulder and he said, "Good job, kid." Even though he wasn't much older than I was, he called me kid. And those 4 words meant the world to me, coming from John Knighton. And the values that we look for in our top recruit are the same values that John had. The criteria then is the same as it is now, and I'm going to paraphrase Chief Bob McBride, who was John's instructor, and I'm going to use some of the same words that he used back then, and they hold true today. Chief McBride said about John, and they reflect exactly what we saw in our top recruit. He said, "It's not necessarily the person that is the most academically acclaimed, but this person was near the top." As you saw, near the top was 3 100ths, and then the third guy was only a couple of points behind that. So we had several guys that were competing academically throughout the academy. It's not necessarily that's the person that's the fastest or can do the most push-ups. However, this person was always near the top. It's not necessarily the person with the best attitude. However, I can assure you that this person was always at the top. Chief McBride said these things about John, and these virtues still hold true in what we expect in our top recruit and all of our firefighters, quite honestly. Our top recruit was a mentor to many of the younger firefighters. He was always willing to help out. Even when he wasn't in a leadership role, others looked to his example and followed that. He was an informal leader throughout the academy. He had a positive attitude at all times. He was always willing to learn and willing to do anything that we asked of him. And he's one of the friendliest people that I know. 2016-2's top recruit is David Bear.
Each recruit class, we always ask the class to pick a ambassador to speak for their class. And I don't know why, but Mr. Condon decided to take that task on, and I don't know if he was missing that day or what, but has been bestowed as far as speaking for the class. So I introduce you to Mr. Sean Condon.
It's the greatest job in the world. The greatest job. To make a difference, to change, shape, and hopefully save lives. Of complete strangers, no less. Fire runs through my family. I was fortunate enough to have a father to show me what it really meant to be a firefighter. A servant to others. But it's not a job. Nor title, nor rank. Not even a badge. But a way of life. Firefighters are servants to others, both while on and off duty, to friends and strangers. Role models for kids, examples of what integrity, courage, honor, and compassion really mean. On September 12th, 2016, a new beginning for 12 individuals, strangers with different backgrounds, different hopes, desires, and stories. But through trials and tribulations and fire, those individuals became a team of brothers. The sweat, blood, and probably way too many laughs have brought us all together in a way few will ever get the pleasure to know. I would give anything for my new brothers. We are stronger together than we ever will be individually. We're family. Spokane Valley, District 8, doesn't matter. Not to me. We're one family, brought together by the same passion but forged in fire. It's with my greatest hope that through our careers we remain close. Probation is going to present its own new and exciting challenges, but we must reach out and help one another. We are our brother's keeper. For we are the Dirty Dozen.
Well, this is the part that they've all been waiting for when they get their badges. But I'm going to make them wait just a second more. Continually, from all our speakers, you've heard a lot about how these individuals have come together as a team. And that is a critical aspect to our profession and, as Recruit Condon said, our life. For better, for worse, and mostly for better, these gentlemen are now linked forever. And they will rely on each other, not just in this next probationary year, but forever. And there's numerous examples of that in this room. We have individual chief officers that in this room that 20-some years ago took a class with another person from another department, and they're very, very close still. So this bonding is unique in that we rely on each other for the rest of our lives. And then kind of to tag on to what Lieutenant Butler said, as far as taking ownership, that kind of goes both ways, because if they screw up, it'll go back on him. So with that, I'd like to get this over with and actually make these guys firefighters. So we'd like to start with Spokane Valley Fire Department. So Dave Bear, his wife Anna is going to present his badge to him. Like Chief Williams said, don't at all hesitate to come up and get pictures of your family members. No blood, no foul. Now for Spokane County Fire District 8, we have 2 recruits. We'll start with Matt Carrier, and his wife Allie will pin his badge. Also with Fire District 8 is Zach Searle. He's asked Chief Tom Hatley to pin his badge. Now for the Spokane Fire Department, Brett Johnson. His cousin Heather will pin his badge. Ryan Fuchs. He'll have his badge pinned by his father, Chief Tom Fuchs, and his wife, Amanda. Alex Chenoweth, pinned by his wife, Rana. And Sean Condon, to be pinned by his father, Chief Don Condon. Tim Wheeler, to be pinned by his wife, Aubrey. Paul Young, to be pinned by his girlfriend, Ashley. Scott Hodgson, to be pinned by his wife, Lisa. Kyle Collins, to be pinned by his father, Tracy. And Jacob Bissett, presented by his father, Mark. And now our lateral hires from the Spokane Fire Department. These will all be pinned by Chief Williams. Jason Hess. Nick Holmes. Cody Whitehour. Eric Swat. And Dylan Russell. Thanks, Chief. Well, before I release everybody, would like to ask if you could join us for some refreshments afterwards. And as well, the museum here on this side, through the open door, the History Museum for the Spokane Fire Department is open. So please take an opportunity to look at that and to see some of our heritage that that we live every day, some of our tradition and heritage. So it's my distinct honor to present to you the lateral and recruit classes of 2016-2. Firefighters, you're dismissed. Thank you very much for joining us.